Hi, I'm Sophia, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to work through a short prenatal Pilates sequence that's suitable for the first or second trimester. So let's come onto our mat. We're going to start laying on our backs. Okay, and I've folded my mat up so that my feet can rest off my mat, and that's for one of the exercises to come. So let's bring ourselves carefully down onto our back, making sure that you feel comfortable laying on your back at this point in your pregnancy. And then take a moment to organise the pelvis in neutral. Taking a few rounds of breath here, allowing the ribs to settle, length to sit into the back of the throat. We're going to start with pelvic tilting. So we're going to imagine that we've got a marble on the front of the pelvis, and we're going to roll that marble up towards our belly button and then all the way down towards our pubic bone. So gently articulating the pelvis, finding a little bit of movement in the lumbar spine, gently rocking the pelvis. If you find it easier to go one way compared to the other, you might like to focus yourself on the direction that you find most challenging. And often this can be that lumbar flexion, so making sure that you're allowing the waist to come into contact with the mat. Really nice. And then from here we're going to go into pelvic clocks. So you're going to roll the marble up towards your belly button and imagine that point is 12 o'clock. We're then going to roll in a clockwise motion, letting the marble roll over each number of the pelvic clock, all the way down to 6 o'clock, across to 9, and then all the way up. So working the pelvis in a circular motion. Checking in, noticing where is easy to mobilise, where is more challenging. And then we're going to stop at 12 o'clock next time you get there and change the direction for 5 circles in the other direction. As you work in this direction, check in with yourself, notice if the same areas feel uncomfortable or tight, or notice if they change. And then we're going to finish with the marble at 12 o'clock. And then roll it down to the centre of your clock. So you're bringing your pelvis back to your neutral alignment, allowing the ribs to settle. So breathing into the back of the body. We're now going to float our hands up towards the ceiling and come into an exercise that really challenges the core. Okay, so from here we're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, we're going to extend one leg away from you and the other arm above your head. So it's opposite arm to leg, reaching that leg away, reaching the arm overhead. Inhale to draw yourself back to the centre. Exhale, we're going to slide the other leg away. Sorry, Kelly. And then inhale to draw yourself back to the centre. So your shoulders are hugging the back of your body, gliding over the back of the ribs. And you're trying to maintain that connection to your core, not allowing the ribs or the spine to move. As you exhale, you're feeling that narrowing of the waist to maintain the position of body and spine. After my first pregnancy, I realised the value of this exercise. It's one of my favourites now. But it did take a long while for me to appreciate it. So really paying attention to that position of the body and spine. Notice if you can feel a change in weight on the back of the body. So we're hoping and ideally it will stay still. But notice if your head, your rib cage, your pelvis rocks or twists as you move. I'm going to do one more on each side, so making sure to finish evenly. Fully extending arm and leg. Good, and then we're going to come back to the centre. Carefully roll yourself onto one side and peel yourself up gently. And then from here, we can unroll our mats and bring ourselves into a seated position. So I'm going to cross my legs because this feels comfortable for me, but you could use a long frog, or you could have your legs extended, or you might prefer to sit on a couple of yoga blocks or a cushion or something. So making sure that the pelvis is nice and neutral. From here, we're going to bring our hands onto our shoulders and we're going to bring the elbows together in front of us. We're going to float the elbows up, lift the chest and circle the arms all the way around. So gently stretching the shoulders. Let your gaze follow your elbows. Good, let's go for 2 more. And then last one. Meeting the elbows together at the bottom, and then let's change the direction for 5, 4, mobilizing the shoulders, 3, 2, and then last one. Lovely. Good. Gently take the hands behind the head. So we're going to float the arms up and draw the shoulders down away from the ears. So we want to avoid this kind of posture. We really want the neck to appear long, the shoulders to relax away from the ears. And we're going to come into an upper back extension. So I'll show you from the side. For this, we really need the pelvis to stay as still and neutral as is possible. And then we can focus ourselves on that upper back extension. So the elbows are inside your peripheral vision. We're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lift your gaze, your heart, your neck, your nose. Gently extend that upper back. And then we're going to carefully come back to our neutral, so allowing the chest to return to neutral. And again, let's exhale, lift the heart, the neck, the nose. Keep the pelvis nice and stable. And then inhale, come back to the centre. Good. So we're just being careful really not to overarch the lower back and trying to encourage that extension into the upper back. Really important during pregnancy because our posture changes, our weight distribution changes, and so does our balance. So very important to strengthen those areas that will help to support us as we develop. Good, let's keep it going. Let's do 3 more here. And then 1 more. Good. And then gently come back. Float the arms up, release the arms down, let your shoulders do a few rolls. And then from here, we're going to go into dumb waiter. So we can maintain the same seated position if that's working for you, but if you're uncomfortable, do change it. You could perhaps kneel or sit on a chair or a big Pilates ball if you prefer, if you've got one. So elbows are squeezing in at the waist. We're going to lift the chest and draw the shoulders away from the ears, and we want a nice, long, relaxed neck. From here, we're going to inhale to take the hands out, rotating the upper arm. And then exhale to return. We're going to float the hands up so the forearms will be parallel with your chest, and then we're going to take the arms out, come back and release back down. So it's an inhale and then an exhale. An inhale to float, an exhale to come out, and then come back and lower. Good. So really challenging the rotation of that upper arm, working through the shoulders. Good, let's keep it going. Lovely. So neck stays long throughout. Maintaining that neutral pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, return. Float those arms up and rotate out. Good. Let's keep it going. Let's do 4. Rib hip connection. 3. 2. Keep that sense of length through the body. And then this is the last one. Gently draw the elbows down and release. Give the shoulders a wriggle if you need to. And then from here, we're going to keep the pelvis stable. So our pelvis is our stable point as we come into a nice side reach. We're going to take the hands wide of the pelvis. We're going to inhale to float one arm up, and then exhale, gently peel yourself over. Inhale, hold that position, and then exhale, we're going to come back to the center and release the arm down. So inhale to float, Exhale, take yourself over, keep your pelvis still and stable. Inhale, fan those ribs, and then exhale to return. As long as you're not holding your breath, it's all okay. So keep the movement going, and then try to work for as much length in the body and spine as you possibly can. So we don't want to collapse into our waist. Think about coming up and out of that pelvis, keeping both sit bones evenly weighted, mobilizing the spine, and also creating space for baby. Something to watch out for is that the bottom shoulder relaxes, so you want that shoulder to fall away from your ear over them coming up to meet it. So just allow the shoulder to relax. Let's do one more on each side. And then release the arm down. Lovely. So from here, let's come into our 4-point kneeling position. We're going to take our hands underneath our shoulders and let the shoulders really hug the back of the body. From here, we're going to work into our glutes with a hip opener. So let's extend one leg away, making sure the hips stay nice and stable and square. We're then going to exhale to lift and inhale to lower. So we really want to see both hips staying really stable and still, no turning out through that hip. And if that means you've got a limited range of movement through the leg, that's fine. So if it lifts a little lower, that's fine, don't worry about it. The main thing that we're looking for is that the body and spine stay stable. So we don't want this, we don't want an archy back, we want to keep the stability. Let's keep it going for 3 more here. And then last one, let's lift and hold and take our hands carefully wide of our chest. From here, we're going to come down into a little press up, taking the elbows wide to a right angle, and then press the floor away. If this feels too challenging, you're welcome to bring that knee back down. Make sure you're safe first and foremost, and then as long as you are, we're going to aim for 8 press ups. So I'm using an inhale to lower, and an exhale to press the floor away. And I'm trying to draw my shoulders down in my back, working across my pecs. So I'm working across my chest. Let's go for another 4. And then last one. Slide that knee in, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, shoulders hugging the back of the body. Extend the other leg long away, so moving on to the second side, keep the hips level and square, rib-hip connection. We're going to exhale to lift and inhale to lower, so still challenging the stability of the body and spine. Two more here, and then last one. Lift and hold, take the hands wide, so just adjust your position, then square the shoulders, square the hips, engage the abdominals. We're going to inhale to lower, arms come to right angles, exhale, press away. Inhale, lower, lengthen the back of the body and spine. And again, we're going to go for 5 more if we can, so 8 on each leg. And okay, and you can bring your knee in if you need to. And then last one, slide your knee in, bring the hands in, let the knees go wide, and then gently ease your hips back towards your heels to take a stretch. Take a few rounds of breath here, and then in your own time gently roll yourself up to seated. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again soon. Well done. Bye.